Do y'all want this party started right? Do y'all want this party started quickly? Right? Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 2, Episode 17, Blissfully Ignorant. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family, and to all of my nieces and nephews and my members who have been with me for the long haul. Thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate tonight's episode, I would rate the episode probably maybe a B. Surprisingly, I thought that there was a lot of loose ends closed, and we're going to go ahead on and get into this, shall we? Yes, we shall. Wow. It was wow. Like, who do I start off with first? Let's see. Oh my God, who do I start off with first? Let's start off with Brittany and Yazan. So, Brittany, of course, is still in Chicago. And she is, she went home to get a divorce. The paperwork wasn't filed properly. And so, she's got to hang around in Chicago, between Chicago and Florida, to try to get this divorce before she goes back to Jordan to be with Yazan. Last week when we saw Yazan, he was indicating that his family had put him out and fired him from the family business. So, of course, he, was down, and he was talking to his friend Muhammad. And Yazan indicated during that time that um, he really could not understand Brittany, because Brittany wanted this from him and that from him. And thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Davina Love. Love the hair, makeup, shirt combo. Thank you, boo. Thank you. And so, he was making a lot of accusations indicating that he had been paying for everything for Brittany, and that, Brittany thought that he was rich. We get to see Brittany's side of the story, and it is the complete opposite of what y'all's understand. So Brittany is indicating that when she went over to Jordan, that they had rented a couple of apartments just to kind of see how things would pan out for them. She said that Yazan said he was going to pay for it, but lo and behold, she indicates that she did. She said that she was the one that bought the tickets, and she was the one that paid for everything, for her to move her entire life to Jordan. But he is saying something totally different. And so I don't know if you all are confused. Put it down in the comment section. But I'm a bit confused at it over, who's telling the truth. Brittany has indicated that she really cares for him, but she has asked him to step up his game, so that, she could see whether or not this was a viable relationship. She said that she had asked him to, get his own place, and to, put his parents to the side, and everything that the parents. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Ramona, Lucy R, Diana Ross, Vibes, Auntie. Okay, I'm just being me though. But thank you. She is a legend. But so she's on the phone with Yazan, and he's telling her that he's changed his whole life, and that, he never indicated during that phone conversation that he had lost everything, and that his parents had put him out. He alluded to the fact that he indeed was doing what Brittany was, basically requiring of him to do, and that is to, step his game up, his man game up. And so, he was talking about all the different things that he has changed and that she has not made any sacrifices. And Brittany, seeming a little insensitive, was like, I'm leaving my entire life, my family in the United States, my job, my apartment. Like I'm leaving everything in order to be with you. So the story is just like really confusing. I don't know, who's telling the truth. I mean, what do y'all think? Like I've never been so confused. So basically she's telling, y'all, and if you want me to come back to Jordan, then you're going to have to pay for this. And he said that he now has two jobs. He has one job where he's working in the barber shop and another job where he is driving a taxi cab. And so, he said he's working 14-hour days in order to give Brittany those things that she's asking for. And Brittany was like, you act like you the only one, poor y'all's. And, she said that he has this victim mentality and that he doesn't want to, man up. He tells her that, she's going to have to change for him. And, the top that she had on, where she was showing, some, a little bit of cleavage. She can't do that. And then randomly, this man walks up and says, so beautiful. And of course, Yazan gets mad, hangs up the telephone on her. And she was like, this the kind of stuff that I'm be going through with this samba, right? And so it's so damn confusing. Like, I don't know who's telling the truth. And that bothers me as an auntie when I can't figure out who's telling the truth. I want to really believe that it's Brittany, because when she was talking to Yazan on the phone, he never indicated that his parents had put him out. Never. He never indicated, well, now he is not working at the fish market anymore, but I don't know if that is, as Brittany said, that she has asked him not to work there anymore and to just kind of, get out on his own and all that kind of stuff. So I like, oh my God. So Brittany, of course, now is in Florida. She had, wait a minute, before that, she had told y'all that she said, I got the money that you sent for me, and I'll be out there soon. And so of course now Brittany has traveled back to Florida, and she announces that she is now divorced. That divorce went through, and she's hanging out with her girlfriend on the beach and everything, and she's contemplating, what her relationship is going to be like when she gets back to Jordan with him. She wants him to, prove that he is a man, that he has stepped up his game and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, what the hell is really going on in this relationship? It is good to know, though, that Brittany is making a decision, being a single woman. She said now that she has been divorced, she realized that she jumped out there too quickly, right? And so she jumped out there too quickly. And so she, now she has an opportunity to just kind of pause and lay back and make a decision that she feels is best for her to make. And I really do appreciate the fact that, we have found that out, that Brittany is indeed divorced. So now this really changes everything. And I guess it's changed everything for her as well, because, now she's really in the driver's seat. She said that Yazan had indicated to her that she doesn't have to convert, and that she can be, herself and all that kind of stuff. And she says, but then he flips back and he says, I need you to convert, and whoop de whoop de whoop. And I'm just like, okay, like this is just, wow. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, please put down in the comment section who you think is telling the truth. Because, God damn it, I'm going to tell you, I'm stumped on this one. I'm going to be dead ass. I am stumped on this relationship right here. The next person that I want to talk about is Jenny and Sumit. As we all know, last week Sumit went to his parents' home and and was pleading and begging that they accept Jenny. He also, had an opportunity to tell his parents about how he felt about his marriage and how he really was blaming them, although they are the ones who are going to be paying the $20,000 that he owes. But Sumit, has to, of course, go to court. So we see Jenny and Sumit after a night of sexual bliss. I didn't even want to imagine what it was that she was so giddy about, but they told us any damn way. Like, we really wanted to know. Like, Jenny Manhands, the home wrecking grandmom, just basically just basically was giddy and laughing and was like, I wanted to give him something that he can feel, okay? To let him know this love is real. Hey, hey. Okay. And so, she asked him how it was. He said it was good. We was, what I'm saying? We was, what I'm saying? And so Jenny is just giggling, and I just wanted him to know that I was proud of him. So I put that thing up on him. You know what I'm saying? And so, and so I was kind of like, okay. And I don't know if y'all was like that, but I just was feeling a little nauseous, okay? I was feeling a little nauseous. So anyway, she says, I have a gift for you. I'm so proud of you that you went and you stood up, for me, and chivalry is not dead. And so I have a gift for you. And so he was like, oh, okay. He's smiling with that daggone, tooth that's in the front of his mouth looking like a mofo surfboard in the front. Okay, like a skateboard. Like that mofo go down and then it goes up and it's like up on the side. So you can get real good traction, bitch, when you're going up and down ramps. But anyway, she pulls out a ring and tells him that she wants to, be with him. And she wants to give him a ring for her. Okay, so like I guess she's proposing to this mofo. I'm giving you this ring because I need to make sure I brand you, I mark you, like, so I'm just like, okay, really, Jenny? So Sumit was like, I mean, what the hell? Why the hell would you give me a ring? We supposed to be having a ring ceremony. So she was like, well, give it back then. Give it back then. Like a little kid. She's like a little kid, okay? But she's a woman, a grown-ass 61-year-old woman with somebody's 32-year-old son. Jenny, you dead ass wrong. That's why your hands keep growing. So anyway, Jenny, tells him to give it back, and he gave the mofo back. He said, "This is inappropriate. You don't do no like this. This is not what you do. Okay, we're supposed to have a whole ring ceremony, and we're supposed to have our family and our friends there, and all of that kind of stuff. This is not cool." And so, of course, Jenny is, she's angry and everything, and she's embarrassed, as she should be with her old ass. She's so controlling. She wants to control this man and stroke him like he's some kind of little puppy dog that, went partied on the paper or went partied outside. This is a grown man. If you want him to be a grown man, step the fuck back and let him be a grown man. If he love you, he's going to do all the stuff that he needs to do without all this poking and prodding. He doesn't need you to do any of that stuff for him. Like, seriously. Like, seriously. He's like, I don't want to just do this stuff and have show love and all of that just in the bedroom, bitch. I want to be able to show this kind of love on the outside, all right? Like, this is what the hell I want to do. And so, of course, Jenny is embarrassed. She didn't get her way out of this, and Sumit has to go to court. So, that because there was some criminal charges that his ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife has put on his ass. Okay, she wants $500 a month from Sumit. Okay, and so Jenny freaks the fuck out and was like, bitch, we ain't gonna be able to afford this. We're living off my sorry ass Social Security. Okay, because we know she ain't getting number $250. Okay, a Social Security. And so Jenny's like, we cannot afford to, pay this woman a dime. I'm hoping that they drop it. They promised, allegedly, she had promised in a divorce agreement that, she would drop this. So Sumit has to go on the other side of town in order to, get this done. And so he goes with his friend and he goes before the judge and everything. He comes out and he's smiling, he's surfboarding. And so we see him, elated, and he's like, I can't wait to tell Mama Jenny, Grandma Jenny, and see her reaction and everything, because, it might be her last breath. And so I really, really want to put a smile. I like your smile, okay, up on Jenny's face, okay, because he had told her that he liked his face. Now, the thing about it was when Jenny had her big ass man hands and she was, telling Submit how much, how proud she was. It was like her hands, like, how can I make my hand? She was like on his face, but it was just like the one hand was covering that mofo face up like that. Like Jenny's hands about this goddamn big. And so when she was up on his bitch, when she was up on his face, it looked like the hand was like that up on it. She's like, good boy, you good puppy. I said, God. I don't know if she's recognized it. Sometimes when you on camera or whatever, you recognize stuff after the fact. God damn, Jenny, you got some big ass. But anyway, better to smack his ass with, okay? She damn sure don't need no paddle or no whip, because she doing a job with them damn hands. Can you imagine him, girl, trying to, do whatever he do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop, and she got them big man hands. Pow! Pow! Okay, Auntie, come back in. Okay. We'll bring it in. So, of course, he comes home and he tells Jenny, the home-working, big hand, frigadeek, that, he has won the case and that they won't have to spend her Social Security money paying, for this, and everything was dropped and all that kind of stuff. But he was like, I still, so Jenny was like, what does that mean? Does that mean that we can get married? Can, can we finally get married? And he like, no, not right now. Not right now, puppy. Not right now. We still got to go through this divorce, and I still got paid this $20,000. So calm down. I said, bitch. I can't with this woman, right? So anyway, they find out that, he still has to go through the divorce. He's got to go through the divorce proceedings and all of that kind of stuff. And he still has to convince his parents to buy into this particular marriage. I'm telling you, I've never seen somebody as desperate and as old as Jenny. When you're a woman and you get to be a certain age, you got to be secure with who you are. You got to know what you are, what you want, your negotiables, your non-negotiables, and damn it, you got to have some type of pride and self-esteem. God damn. Her self-esteem is looking like a magical carpet, bitch. It's just flying everywhere. Oh my God. The next person I want to talk about is Jihoon and Deavan. As we all know, Deavan is, sitting there and saying that her and Jihoon got married by paper only, although they had a traditional Korean wedding, okay, when he was carrying her around on the back and they were in, oh, God. Oh, excuse me. They were in the traditional clothing and all of that kind of stuff. But she now wants an American wedding. And so, she's out with him and, she decides that she's going to go to work with him. I thought that this was the most immature, petty thing that I have seen on 90 Day Fiancé history. This Dean Bat decides that she is going to go to his job and she thinks that this is a good idea. He tells her that it's not a good idea. And so, they go to the job and all of that kind of stuff. And, and while they're at the job, he's like, working at a cell phone company. He's no longer, delivering food by Grubhub. And so she goes into the place and everything, and his employers and his fellow colleagues, they all looking at him like, the fuck, like this has never happened before. Like people don't, bring their spouses to work with them and hold their hand for the remainder of the day. And so when we saw them go in, of course the sun was up. When these bitches came out, the sun was down. So did she stay there all day? She said that, the kids were with the parents. These are the parents that allegedly did something to her daughter, but we ain't even gonna go there, right? And so she indicates that, she's there, she's happy to have a free day. And I know how that is. When you got, little children, I only have one. But when you got little children and you finally get a break, bitch, you'll just be happy just to ride around the block in peace with the music loud in the car. But anyway, so she, she's at his job and she finds out that he works for a cell phone company, and then she tells his employer, okay, the manager, she tells him that Jihoon was stealing phones, that he was selling stolen phones. Why the hell did you think that that was a good idea for you to tell his employer that? Now they gonna be looking at him like he a beanie head bank robber. Why in the hell did she open her mouth up and say something? Dude was like, I ain't know nothing about this, but but I'll be watching this mofo. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be watching him from now on because this dude was selling, cell phones. And so, he's got the cell phone there. She's asking him about, how do you fix it? How do you do this? And knick-knack, patty-whack. Just dumb stuff. Just being dumb, stupid, and naive. Like, you talk about somebody that brain is probably as big as a fucking acorn. Like the stuff that she was saying, y'all, I don't even want to get into all of the shenanigans and foolishness and the fuckery of it all. But I just was like, she just really, this is a ignorant ass little girl. So of course, he's trying to work. He's telling her, I'm concentrating. The guys in there, are looking like, damn, young, then brought his pet to work, you know what I mean? And so, they leave out. And Jihoon is, he's destroyed basically in the job site. Like, what man would not be? What man would not be, just feeling humiliated, emasculated by this woman who has to decide that she's got to go to work with him? Like, this is so stupid. So the next thing we see is her going to a wedding planner, and they're going, to a facility where they're going to be holding this wedding. Each person only gets 1 hour, okay, to have their ceremony. Bitch, they so serious about it and so overpopulated that they got lockers where you put your in a lock. The bride and groom get an opportunity to put their stuff in the locker, and the lockers are time lockers. On the door of each locker, when you get your assigned time that you're going to have your wedding, on the door of the locker, they have 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Like, that's how many people are going through there on a daily basis having a ceremony. And she said ever since she was a little girl, probably Drusilla's age, that she wanted to, have this big luxurious wedding, but she doesn't have any money. And neither does he. Like, they're barely making it, right? And so, of course, she decides, this place isn't the place. But, of course, the mom and the dad are there, and they grinning, and they happy and everything. And she begins to tell them about the American ceremony that she wants to have and how she sees it and all that kind of stuff. And they laugh at her. They think that it's just hilarious that people want to dance together. They said that they don't dance together. And so she said, an American wedding, this is something that is special and something that everybody, wants. But I'm thinking that there's so many other things that happen in a ceremony or at a reception that are more important than, that mom and father dance, okay? But for her, she wants this, and she tells him that he has to dance with Drusilla. And he, damn near passed out when she said that, because he don't really want no part of that little girl like that. I mean, who the hell gonna be able to dance with Drusilla? I'll wait. Okay. Because I mean the girl's so damn hyper, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So the next person that I want to talk about, and the last couple for tonight, is Biniyam and Ariela. Areolas. This girl is a let me tell you, this girl has absolutely zero coping skills. Like all her life, this bitch been walking around in a plastic bubble. Her mother and father have provided everything for her, including the ability to think on her own. This bitch is at the hospital and she's a grown ass woman. You can't get no growner, okay, than bringing a child into this world. There's nothing else, bitch, that you ever gonna be able to do. I don't care if it's sucking a dick, okay. I don't care if it's sucking a dick, having sex. I don't care what it is. You can't get no damn growner than having a baby. Bitch, you grown at this point, okay? Now, not everybody chooses to have children, so they get growner. But when you have a child, you on a whole damn another level of being a woman. Y'all, come on now, y'all, come on. Give it to me. Y'all got to give it to me, bitch. Once you've crossed over that threshold, bitch, you never can go back. You can never undo it. You are a mother, okay? Now, different people make different choices about what they choose to do with their motherhood, but bitch, you ain't never gonna be no more growner than having a child, be it a woman or be it a man. Okay, that's just my opinion. So anyway, hope I ain't offend nobody. So anyway, she's at the hospital. The nurse comes in, because she been, just a complete asshole the whole entire time she's been there. And so, they're like, okay, you're gonna be okay. It's time for you to go home. And she's like, yay. It's amazing how people just send you out with your kids and they don't do a follow-up visit to make sure you're kidding, you're taking care of your kid correctly. Bitch, that's called CPS. CBS will come out there to find out whether or not you taking care of your kids. Them the mofos you don't never want to come to your door, okay? There are generals and people that will come to your fucking house and see whether or not you are taking care of your child, and their names happen to be Child Protective Services, bitch. So don't even get it twisted. You don't want that kind of attention at your house. Trust. So anyway, she goes home with the baby, but of course, they're arguing and everything because the baby doesn't have a car seat. And so she's like, okay, with a baby, can't go in the car without the car seat. So Benjamin was like, look, we over here, over here in Ethiopia, we don't do that. The baby can go anywhere it wants to go. We don't have regulations like you all have in the United States as it relates to babies being in the car seat. She said, well, my baby not going in the car seat. What I need you to do is walk your ass down that busy street. I need you to wrap the baby up, expose the baby to the temperatures outside, expose the baby to the germs and all of that kind of stuff, while my bitch ass gets in a car and drives around. Okay, I'm going to be the one who's driving home because I just had a C-section, so I'm in a lot of pain, and C-sections are painful. But I'm in a lot of pain, but I want you to take and expose the baby to all kinds of, because the baby can't be in the car. Now, during the break, during one of the commercial breaks, she took to Instagram to give a justification as to why she did this. She indicated that, babies are projectiles in cars. And she said that the reason why she did that is because it was the apartment was 2 blocks away, and that it was on a private street where no cars come back and forth. But if you drive, you got to drive all the way the fuck around the neighborhood in order to get to where they live at. She also indicated that she was rear-ended in the car. What's the likelihood that this bitch was rear-ended in the car? She says the guy that was driving the car was her damn friend. This is somebody that Biniyam, found out. I mean, Biniyam, became friends with because of her ass. And I'm saying, look, we don't need you tweeting and deleting and Instagramming and Snapchatting and BlackPlanet.com and while we sitting up here looking at this damn show. Trying to give an explanation because when you went back to the hospital the second time, although the baby was in the carrier, not nary one of y'all bitches was strapped. So what good is a car seat, Areola, if you don't have the daggone baby strapped in a seatbelt? You're not in the seatbelt. Biniyam's not in the seatbelt. And the baby's not in the seatbelt. So go to, you know what? Oh, Auntie. Oh. Sit down somewhere. Stop that stuff. You telling a bald-faced lie, young. We saw it for ourselves. If you don't have a seatbelt on and you have an accident, everybody in the car becomes a projectile. If you are not seatbelted. To use that excuse to justify how foul that looked to us, you knew damn well that that looked foul. That you will ride your prima donna ass around and expose your baby. It was less safe for your baby for him to be walking down the street. But anyway, I'm going to get off that because I can stay on that and read this bitch for filth, okay? But we got company. We got guests. And we got new people with us, so, I'm going to try to. So she gets to the home and everything, and the family's there, and they got little what you call them, little things, icicles, little fire thing, and they happy that the baby's home and everything, and they have a ritual that they go through where they kill a lamb, a sacrifice a lamb right there in front of your ass. Now, he would have had to have told me that up front. Like, bitch, when we get home, what's your tradition when I get the fuck home? Because that right there, it would have grossed me out too. Now, would I have taken it as far as she did? Bitch, I probably would have took it further. I'm just I'm just gonna go ahead and be truthful with you. I probably would have taken that thing a whole lot further because, bitch, like, you not gonna sit there and kill nothing in front of me like that. But this was their tradition. I probably would have tried to swallow my pride and keep my food down on my damn stomach. But bitch, I would not have been ready for that either. Don't do that in front of me. I never forget when I went down the country and I saw them slaughter and just pull this pig, apart, and then they thought that I was gonna eat it Thanksgiving dinner. Bitch, I wish I would. I did not eat that pig. I ain't eat that goat cheese, that head that was in the sink. I ain't eat none of that stuff because I remembered seeing that pig get slaughtered like that. I'm used to my pig being in the grocery store, wrapped up and tied up, tangled up in some bleach, and I take it home and I wash it and I fix it like that. I'm used to my bacon on my pig just being in the pack and just lying, to say a bacon on top of bacon over top. And when I want some, I pull it off and I cook it like that. If I want a pork chop, bitch, it got to already be chopped. Okay, it cannot be just getting pulled out of the pig and me watching you like I did. So I'm not gonna sit there and want to watch that. But she freaked out and lost it, and she felt like it was because of her that this lamb was slaughtered, and it was. But this is part of their tradition. And so, you got to just, lean with it, rock with it, kind of like, try to roll with it. But I'm telling you now, I probably would have been bringing my breakfast, lunch, dinner, the food I had last week would have been coming up. So anyway, she goes into the house and everything. She's tired. Of course, she's C-sectioned out. And the next thing you know, Biniyam's aunties and them come. Are y'all serious? Biniyam, if you don't get their asses up out of here with all that noise, the hell is going on? She handled that like a soldier. See, because all this stuff for her is a surprise. And while I feel sorry for Biniyam, that he looking a little hurt and everything, and she feel like she rejecting everything, Biniyam, bitch, tell me that what's gonna happen. Don't you gotta tell me that it's gonna be a damn parade in my bedroom. Yeah, and then I love your aunties and all of that. I love your family. But bitch, if you do not tell me that the Grand Marshal is coming through here and a whole bunch of majorettes and dancers and trumpeters and drummers coming up in my bedroom and I just came home from having a baby, but she handled it. And while I don't really care too much for her, I have to put myself in her position. You understand? Biniyam did not want her about anything. Them aunties came up in there deep. She was like, ooh. She wanted to cover her ears, and but she didn't want to embarrass them. She wanted to be politically correct. I'd have been like, Biniyam, if you don't get them the fuck up out this bedroom, I just came home. I'm tired. The baby is home. I'm trying to suckle. The baby's trying to suckle. I like, get them out of here. But anyway, she was like, hey, aunties, and they was like, hurry, hurry, bitch, they came in there like they were trying to save the North. They came up in that joint, they pulled them chairs down, bitch, and you would have thought that that it was the Tyrells and the Starks. Bitch, they came and they was sitting up there like this. So, you have to pass the baby around. We all have to hug the baby because if we don't hug the baby, the stomach's sick. That's our belief. That's what we believe in. Pass the baby. So, of course, she lets them pass the baby. They passed the baby on the left-hand side. It said, pass the baby on the left-hand side. Pass the babies on the left-hand side. Pass the baby. So they passed the baby and everything. They said she ain't had to take it out the bassinet, but bitch, she needed to pass it. So she passed the baby and everything. She allowed that to happen. And then, so, the auntie said, well, what about the baptism? The baby have to be baptized. And so, she said, oh, here they go, trying to push this down my throat. They was like, no, we're not trying to push it down your throat. What happened, Biniyam? So Biniyam said, basically, we went to a priest, and the priest said because she's not baptized, the baby can't be baptized. The aunt said, what fucking priest said? What priest said that, bitch? He done a damn lie. She ain't got to be baptized in order for that baby. We'll take care of that one with y'all. Yeah, we going to get, girl, I'm telling you, girl, we got that. Oh, yeah, what? We got that. That baby getting baptized, got that. So, they was like, that's all right. We taking care of it. And you point him out. When we go down to the market, you point that bitch out because ain't no priest gonna tell us that the baby ain't gonna get baptized. So, the baby, she like, okay, they ain't gonna force this down my throat and all that kind of stuff. And, she's just feeling really a lot of pressure. And it is a lot of pressure because it is, basically these things are his custom, and they've never had this conversation. I don't know how they've never had this conversation, but y'all, I swear they have never had this conversation. So anyway, they decide that, the next day, a couple of days later, she tells Biniyam that, her breasts are raw, and that's because she's not positioning the baby correctly on her nipples. And so if you position correctly, you will not be having those problems. And this is just something she's probably going to have to learn because her mother isn't there to do it for her. And not really there. She don't really have that guide. And she is in another country at the end of the day. She said that they told her to put some cabbage on her brassicas, and the cabbage on her brassicas will help her. So anyway, she sits there and she asks him about the name, and he decides that he wants to compromise with her on the name and everything else as it relates to the baby, because he is more important for him for the baby to be baptized than it is for him to have a name. He said that wasn't his first choice, but the baby's name is Avil, Biniyam, whatever. And so he was happy about that. And she told him, as it relates to the baptism, for me, she said, I believe it's silly. I don't believe that a baby is going to go to hell. And she believes that that's the reason why, I guess that must be what they told her, that, that's why they do it. And I'm sure that baptism is just a little bit more than that. But she said for her it was silly, but she decided that she would compromise with him and she would allow the baby to be baptized. And so, of course, he was happy about that. And so they take the baby, to the hospital because the baby has to be immunized and it has to have its checkups, okay? As you all know, the first year or two of a baby's life, you stay in the hospital. Every time you turn around, you're going for an immunization, a checkup, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you stay in a hospital the first year or two of a baby's life. Because they need those immunizations, there's certain things that they just can't fight off. And some people don't believe in immunizations. I'd say, do what you got to do. But anyway, and so, while they're in there and they're immunizing the baby, of course, she has a mental breakdown and she begins to cry. And now all of a sudden her anxieties are out of the roof because her mother and her father, unfortunately, have never taught her any kind of coping skills, no coping mechanisms. Like, she doesn't cope with anything very well. Like, everything to her is just drama, 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 drama. And it's just unbelievable, the immaturity. Like, her level of maturity, y'all, is like a 3-year-old almost, as it relates to dealing with things that a normal person would deal with. You're a mom, your child got to be immunized. I just was like, bitch, golly. Thank you so much, Mia Love, quickly, for the $2 super chat. Thank you, boo. So, of course, she has a fit, and so, he begins to talk about the circumcision. Now, I must say that there are some things that Biniyam is pushing on her. And, she is, I believe she's Jewish, and he's Christian. And so there really are a lot of differences in their religions and in their culture. And he really is, in some ways, in my opinion, pushing things. And it's an urgency for him. Now, they talk about the baby being circumcised. And she says that she believes that the baby should have a right to do whatever he wants to do with his body. She feels like, she's changing something on the baby, and she should wait until he is, what, a teenager, a grown man, to, like, is he 30? Is it before, like, when do you, like, what? So Biniyam was telling her, the baby is not going to, really feel the pain right now. And she's like, okay, well, the baby's already had enough pain from these immunizations, so I don't want the baby to have, to continue to keep going through this pain. And so anyway, she says she has to go to the bathroom because, of course, she's having a panic attack. And, oh, excuse me, y'all. And so while she's gone to the bathroom having this panic attack, Biniyam gives the baby to a nurse so that the baby can be circumcised. She comes out, she finds that he doesn't have the baby, and she flicks the fuck off. She goes into the room, she locates the baby, and she's over the baby. She won't let the doctor touch him, the nurse touch him, neither Biniyam. She is completely in guard mode and fight or flight mode with that baby. The doctor yells at her and says, is the baby going to get circumcised? And she gets the hell about that room and tears the door down and knock a couple of walls and windows out, bitch, on her way. Biniyam is chasing her through the hospital, and we have to wait until next week to find out what happened with the baby. Y'all, again, I thought it was a lot of things that were revealed this week. Surprisingly, TLC Sharp Entertainment is getting a B rating from your auntie because it was just full of information for us. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What rating would you give it? And why would you give it that rating? Tell me what you think about each one of these people. How do you feel about Biniyam and Ariela? Is the baby gonna get circumcised? Okay, is Jenny and Sumit finally going to get this divorce that she so desperately wants him to get? Is Brittany and Yazan, well, we already know they ain't gonna be together. But who the hell do y'all think is telling the truth and nothing but the truth? And how will Deavan turn out? Her little tired ass wedding that she wants turns out. Again, this is the conclusion of my review. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who sent a super chat or a super sticker. Thank you so much to my Mary Grace for moderating the room. And thank you all so much for being... Oh, it's a super chat going out the door. Thank you so much, Igmatic E, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Auntie. I give you an A+. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I love you all to pieces. Have a great Monday. Make sure you do something special for yourself. And if you get the opportunity, do something special for somebody else too. Love y'all. Have a great night.